This week on Battle of Wits, David Pryde, Walter Lyng, Shirley Whalen, and your host, Elspeth Wright. Hello and welcome to Battle of Wits, episode number 8. Oh my goodness, we have a fantastic lineup for you today. With us, we have Shirley Whalen. Hello, Shirley.
Hi.
We have David Pryde. Hello, David.
Hello.
And we have Walter Lyng, who looks just ready to go.
Hey! What's up, guys?
Hello. We will begin with the warm-up round. In this round, I will ask you all interesting questions, and the person with the best answer, or the answer closest to the real answer, will get the point. So, peas can be used to treat what ailment in fish? So peas, like the tiny little vegetable, treat this ailment in fish. Shirley, what is your guess?
Indigestion.
Indigestion, very good. David, what is your guess?
I guess I'll go with agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia. Are there many agoraphobic fish?
Well, I think if it's clear glass all around them, then they must think they're outside all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's where they have the little caves. Okay.
Yeah, unless they go to their castle, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Very good. Walter, what can peas help fish with?
I actually know the answer to this. I was reading about it earlier today. It's gout.
Gout, yes. Where do they get gout? Because normally it's in your foot.
Well, I mean, they have extremities too, fish, and they like chop liver as much as the next guy. So
it's true. I used to always feed my goldfish a lot of chopped liver. He was chopped liver and Coors Light. It's all he ever wanted. Bad gout. All right, so Shirley is actually very close to the correct answer, so I will give her the point. It can treat constipation in fish.
But what was Shirley's answer?
Okay.
Shirley's answer was what originally?
Indigestion.
Indigestion.
Oh, okay. Constipation. Yeah.
Constipation is a form of indigestion.
Yeah.
Although,
well done.
Well done. Shirley is a fish expert.
Good job, Shirley.
She knows so much about
the
this.
newbie in me.
Yeah. Okay. What did Alexander Fleming originally call penicillin? So he had a name for it, and then he was like, penicillin's a better name. David, you answer first. What was the original name?
I'll say Dixillin.
Dixillin? Okay.
And then he thought to go more clinical, I guess.
Very good. Penicillin. Very nice.
Yes, that's what popped into my head. Sorry.
Fine. We're all in this together.
Yes.
Walter, what is your answer?
I'm gonna say the original, and again, I kind of know what's in penicillin, so I'm just gonna guess horse urine pills. Horse urine pills. It wasn't very imaginative, but that's the active ingredient, so that's probably what he went with.
Very good. Okay. Shirley, what is your guess?
I'm going to say penicillin.
Okay.
Strong answer. Sticking with that.
It's very close to David's answer, but more wholesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That was a safe for work
Yeah.
spin.
My grandma will like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Walter had the right idea, so I'm going to give it to Walter, who is making a lot of noise right now.
Sorry.
So horse urine is not used in penicillin, but mold is. And it was originally called mold juice.
Gross.
So, who doesn't want to take some mold juice when you're feeling under the weather? Would any of you, if you were like, oh no, I have this bad health thing, here's some mold juice, would you take it? Or
I mean, I've been
I
telling.
picked mold by accident a lot.
Yeah.
I ingest a lot of mold without knowing it.
Yeah, It doesn't matter that he rebranded it to penicillin. You'd still. All right.
Yeah.
Are you sure about the horse urine thing? There's none whatsoever.
I don't know actually. I know that like the active ingredient is mold.
Yeah, because I've been telling people the horse urine thing for years. And if there's horse urine and mold, that's pretty fucked up.
Wait, do you moonlight as a doctor, Walter? You look familiar. I've seen you in a lot.
He's being really convincing.
He is.
You know?
He is.
I trust him. You look a bit like Donald Trump's doctor as
I
well.
was thinking that as well. That's where I've seen him.
Yeah.
This is all a hoax.
Hold on, I'll start smoking a joint. My credibility will go low.
Yeah. So,
the
Walter,
roof.
should I drink bleach? That's all I need to know.
Only in small doses.
Okay.
See, that's credible.
Yeah. Okay, our next question. Sweden has a hotel where you can leave this to be looked after while you're on holiday. So you bring this with you, they'll look after it while you're on holiday. Walter, Dr. Lyng, what is your answer?
I'm gonna say your pet, I guess. I mean,
Your pet? Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
it's not very funny, but
No, it makes sense as an answer. That's very good. What if I bring my pet horse and it just like hangs out in the lobby then?
yeah, and then we
Any
you know,
pet.
we get all its drain it of its urine and sustenance.
Very good. Shirley, what is your answer?
I'm gonna say your aging loved ones.
Yeah.
Very
Oh.
good.
That sounds Swedish.
Yeah. Right?
Uh,
After their old folks over
Very good.
there.
Yeah, very nice. And David, what is your guess?
Oh, I'll just go super clever and say your ABBA CD collection
Very good.
because it's a hotel
Very good.
in
Uh,
Sweden.
You're all wrong. I liked the Swedish wordplay though, so I'm giving that point to David. The actual answer is your sourdough starters.
Wow.
I don't know what it means.
So to make sourdough bread, there's like a starter that you have to I've never made sourdough bread.
it's like
You
an
have to,
active
like-
yeasty.
Yeah, you have to
thing.
take care of it, and a lot of work and effort goes into the starter. And you can like reuse it for like
Yeah.
generations and generations.
Oh.
Most of what I know about sourdough is from an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I'm no
Well,
big
that's
city
good.
baker type, but okay, final question of the warm-up round. You're all tied with 1 point, so it's time to take the gloves off. During the summer of 1790, George Washington spent the equivalent of $9,523 on what? Shirley?
In what year?
1790.
Prostitutes.
Prostitutes. Very good
Yep.
answer. Okay. David, what do you think George Washington spent all that summer money on?
I think probably mold juice.
Mold juice. Very good.
Like
Very
that.
good. And Walter, what is your guess?
I'm gonna say whiskey, straight up whiskey. You know, it's the summer. You want to party. You want to help everybody else have a party. You're
Yeah.
the literal president. You have that kind of money to spend on whiskey.
Yeah. Was he mixing the whiskey with the mold juice just for an extra hit?
Yeah, but
That is.
but that's what they used to call lemonade back then, was mold juice.
Oh, yes, yes.
Mold
Oh.
juice has had a good run. Good branding.
Yeah, excellent branding. The actual answer is ice cream. So
Oh.
apparently he had a big sweet tooth and was eating very expensive ice cream. Although maybe it was expensive back then. Who knows?
Just the refrigeration costs alone were
Sure.
really prohibitive.
That's true.
yeah.
That's very true, actually.
Hmm.
Okay, so at the end of that round, I gave that point to David. At the end of that round, David is in the lead with 2 points.
Yay.
Shirley and
Hey!
Walter are tied with 1 apiece.
I'm happy with it.
Now it is time for the What Does It Mean round. In this round, I will tell you a word and you will tell me what it means. So our first word is PHILODOX. PHILODOX. Walter, what does it mean?
Glossary of global philosophies. Yes, yep, yeah. It's the PHILODOX. Just consult the PHILODOX. Not sure who the thing is that you believe in. Consult the old PHILODOX. Yeah.
What sort of global philosophies can be found in the PHILODOX, Walter?
Real obscure ones, like like you've heard of like existentialism. This would be nexistentialism, which is like a sequel to existentialism, but no one cared to look it up.
Very good. It's existentialism too, with a vengeance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
David, what is your answer? What does PHILODOX mean?
Okay, so yeah, Walter sort of touched on the philosophy thing. So I'm looking at philo, which I think is a Greek root of the words, and dox is Latin for duke or noble person. So I'm gonna say it's an ox cart.
Very good. I like the switcheroo at the end there.
Yeah. Come on.
The roller coaster. Shirley, what is your answer?
Going off the Greek roots that David said, the philo kind of reminds me of like a phyllo pastry, like maybe like a thin, multi-layered. Dox is like pants.
All right.
Like thin pants.
Yep.
Thin pants.
Yep.
Okay. So for what occasion would you wear your PHILODOX, Shirley?
I would wear my PHILODOX to bed on like a fancy evening, when I want to spice up the bedroom a little bit.
So like a thin, sexy pajama pants.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm gonna give that one to Shirley. Just because I worked so hard for it. You did.
Yeah.
The answer is someone who loves their own opinion.
Oh, I see why you gave it to me.
Yeah. Our next word is zarf. Zarf. David, what does zarf mean?
I think it's wow. I think it's the detritus that blasts out of a pimple.
Ooh. Very good. Especially when it blasts out, that definitely kind of makes a zarf sound.
Zarf.
Very good. Shirley, what is your guess?
I know this one because I'm a dog walker. Zarfing is when a dog runs around really fast and then throws up. He zarfs on you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And Walter, what is your answer?
It's an exclamation. It's an exclamation. Zarf. Well, I think it's Victorian, and it was like kind of like the most vulgar, kind of worst thing you could say back then. Like more than any kind of curse word or anything. It was zarf. It was like like you'd say like God's wounds, or it was like zounds or whatever. This was zarf.
Okay, so you'd say it in a sort of like beans situation, but if you're being
or if you like hammered your thumb or something, good. Zarf.
I like it, Walter. I'll give that one to you. So it's actually a coffee cup sleeve. So those little sleeves you get on your coffee cup?
Sure.
They're called zarfs, and it originally comes from the ornamental containers used to hold coffee cups, like the glass coffee cup. So that's a zarf. Next time you go to a Tim Hortons, you can let the person know and ruin their day by being a know-it-all. Our final word of this round, I had to write down the pronunciation, and I'm still probably going to mess it up. BORBORYGMUS. BORBORYGMUS. And we will start with we'll start with Shirley for this one. BORBORYGMUS.
BORBORYGMUS Borborygmus. Oh, buddy. Borborygmus is when you have eaten a lot and you can't move. And very similar to rigor mortis, your body like shuts down and can't move because you've just had too much to eat. Borborygmus.
Very good.
Corbin.
Walter, what is your answer for Borborygmus?
I've actually had this. It's a skin condition that you acquire from prolonged exposure to boron. Known element boron. And it was a bad summer. I don't care to deal with it again.
Yeah. What happened when you had this? When you had Borborygmus?
I was working in a boron mine, and no one told me to suit up or anything. So yeah.
Irresponsible.
It was bad.
That sounds horrible.
Terrible.
David, what is your answer for Borborygmus?
Walter took my answer word for word. So I'm blind here, but I'm gonna say it's a immigrant to Bora Bora whose work visa has expired. And that's hence the Igmus.
What is the punishment when your work visa expires in Bora Bora?
You get depora.
Oh. Okay.
That was for your grandma too.
I like it. I'll give that one to David. Shirley was pretty close, but opposite. Kind of. So Borborygmus is actually a rumbling or gurgling noise in the intestines.
Oh.
So the two answers that Shirley's gotten close to right were both intestinal. Are you a secret?
I know my intestines.
A secret stomach doctor, Shirley?
I guess maybe I should pursue a new career path.
Now it is time for 2 truths and 1 lie. In this round, you will all tell 3 stories, 2 of which are true, 1 of which is a lie, and your opponents will get to ask you 2 questions to figure out which story is the lie. We will start with Shirley. Shirley, what are your stories?
My stories? They're not really stories, they're more statements. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Get off my show.
Okay, so since May 1st, I have made 32 pies. That's number 1. Number 2, I used to walk Meghan Markle's dog. And number 3 is I once saved a stranger's life.
Very good. Excellent stories. Interesting. Lots of questions to be asked. Walter, you may ask Shirley a question.
What kind of dog did Meghan Markle have?
Good question.
He was a mutt. He was a street dog, mid-size, kind of golden retriever looking.
Cool.
Okay. David, what is your first question for Shirley?
What kind of pies were they, or could you name like at least 4 varieties, or were they all the same
varieties.
pie?
I've done mostly strawberry and cherry, and a couple of blueberry, and 1 key lime.
Ooh.
Wow.
I love key lime pies. Walter, what is your final question for Shirley?
What happened to the stranger?
Yeah.
She was hit by a van.
Oh no.
Okay. And
I have so many follow-up questions now.
Yeah. What how did you help the stranger who was hit by the van?
So I was waiting for the bus, and she got hit right in front of me, and there was no one around. So I ran into the street and I called 911 and I stayed on the phone with the paramedics and they
Why did you run into the street? There are more vans there.
Nope, I don't know. I went against my instincts, I guess. And I just like applied pressure to her head that was bleeding out on the pavement.
Oh my goodness.
While I waited for the paramedics to arrive.
Was this in Montreal?
This is in Toronto.
In Toronto, okay. David, what is your final question for Shirley?
It was going to be, did the rescue involve drowning? And I still kind of want to ask that, because that would make it a real complex scenario. Okay, I'm just gonna say, what bus were you waiting for?
It was the Bathurst bus, the 511, I want to say, or is that a streetcar line? I don't remember the bus number anymore.
So were you waiting for the bus to like get to work?
Yes.
Okay. So did you have to call work and say like, this lady?
Yes. Yeah.
And how did your boss respond?
They were actually very upset with me for being late, and so I quit my job.
I'm guessing you were working at a call center at the time, because that seems like call center management behavior.
No, I was a dog walker at the time, actually.
Oh, wow. I think they'd be more chill.
Wait, Meghan Markle fired you for saying
what?
Someone's wife?
Meghan Markle wants everyone to get hit by vans?
Yes!
Oh.
Such a bitch!
Watch out, Vancouver.
Especially with a name like that. Vancouver, it's fine. Okay. Walter, what is your guess? What is the lie?
I think the walking Meghan Markle's dog is a lie.
Okay. All right. David, what is your guess?
I'm going to guess that the lies are in the pies.
Oh, very good. Shirley, what is the lie?
The pie! The pie was the lie!
So David gets 1 point and Shirley gets 1 point. How many pies have you baked, Shirley?
Honestly, 0. I've made a bunch of like mini like hand pies, but not like any regular pies at all.
I don't think I've ever heard them referred to as hand pies. like
hand pie. No?
My old hand pie. Like, I don't know.
It's a pie you put in your hand.
David, what are your 2 truths and 1 lie?
Okay. So they are, number 1, I fed my baby son rat food at a Cuban petting zoo. The second one is at my daughter in grade 1 on a field trip to the local library with her grade 1 class, called me a pedophile in front of the whole class, teachers and parents. And the third one is that at my first canoe trip with my daughter, who was 3 at the time, I tipped it over and upset her greatly in the lake.
Wow, some very interesting stories. Lots of
call social services.
Exactly. Oh no. Shirley, what is your first question for David?
Okay, my first question is, how old was your daughter when you tipped her into the lake?
3. She was 3. Yeah.
Did you was it an accident or?
Yeah. Yes, no,
or are you just like, I'm gonna teach her to swim? Like,
it was for the life insurance.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, no, it was definitely an accident. I just really wasn't that good at canoeing, and just wobbled.
Okay. Because I know when I was a kid, I learned how to kayak. I had to try to flip the kayak over, but I was much older than 3, so my question wasn't great. Walter, what is your first question?
Geez, I mean, I all thought they were true, so I guess Well, the second story, well, the first thing was the rat poison, right? Okay, not the rat poison, but how did you accidentally feed rat poison to your kid at the Cuban Zoo? I guess.
Well, rat food.
Yeah, rat food.
Rat
not
food,
poison.
right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of.
We were looking at the rodents. It was a pretty cheap petting zoo. So I'm not.
Yeah, they
sure
had rats.
Yeah, they were rats or some sort of rodent. I was carrying him. I was tired, and they had like food dispensaries, and I honestly like thought it was like bread.
Yeah, so one of these deals.
They were like, yeah. It sort of looked a bit like croutons or whatever. And honestly, I was gonna eat it myself. And my boy like was hungry and wanted, and so I just and I wanted to be a selfless good father. So I let him eat it, and then my wife was like, "What are you doing?" And like, so people were just looking at me, and I said, "No, that's for the animals."
Okay. And did your son like eat it happily? Was he just like, this is tasty? Yeah.
I think it had good rat nutrients in it.
He didn't get sick or anything?
No.
Okay.
I guess the authorities all put a stop to it earlier.
That's very good. Shirley, what is your final question?
My final question is, why did your daughter call you a pedophile? Where did she learn that word?
Yeah.
So she learned it because we were watching TV. We were actually watching a John Oliver episode, and so it was a punchline and a joke, and she asked me what that was, and I just sort of said it's someone who's mean to children, and then it was like a story time at the library.
Oh, no.
And so I think technically she said sometimes my daddy's a pedophile.
Oh my God. Oh,
Not all the time.
And so, so then I sort of said she didn't. I tried to explain it the way I just explained it to you, but I don't think I brought up John Oliver by name or anything. I don't know. It wasn't. Anyway.
Oh man. Oh, if that's true, that's awful. Walter, what is your final question?
Was the rat in actuality like a capybara?
Yeah, why would it be a rat at a petting zoo?
Well, I think I wanted to say kappa. I wasn't sure. It just looked like a rat to me, but it could have been more exotic, that like a
seems suspicious.
capybara like.
It makes the story less deplorable. It makes the story less deplorable. It was food for the capybara.
Yeah. It was let's change it to rodent of uncertain vintage.
Okay. Shirley, what is your guess?
I think the canoe thing is a lie.
Okay, canoe. Walter, what is your guess?
Also canoe.
Also canoe. Very good. David, what is the lie?
I am happy to say the lie is the pedophile
Thank
story.
Goodness. Oh my God.
I thought that was one of your bits. I thought I've heard you tell that joke.
It sounded like
I have a different joke where I'm mistaken for a pedophile. With my son.
Yes.
That's the one in the park.
Right.
But
I am very glad. That gave me like anxiety just because kids it was very believable.
Yeah.
And I just really needed it to like just the secondhand embarrassment I was getting.
No, I'm share your relief that I can say that now in public. I hope everyone tuned in right to the end of that.
Everyone. Yeah. So
the canoe incident sounds borderline tragic though. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, the good thing was we were in about 3 feet of water when it actually tipped. So
you were like launching and it.
Yeah. So I stood up and was but the bad news is that means it was in full view of the entire shore of people.
Walter, can you please tell us your 2 truths and 1 lie?
2 truths and 1 lie. Okay, here we go. First anecdote. I once got locked out onto a balcony at a loft party on purpose by a friend because they thought it'd be funny. And it was winter and it was cold, and I was just drunk enough that I purposefully dropped myself off the second balcony floor, landed successfully, walked back inside to the party, making everyone think that I was literally magical. Story 2. There's a theme to all these 3 stories.
Okay.
Story 2. I once breathed fire using barbecue lighter fluid at a Christmas party in Denmark. That's story 2. Story 3.
Okay.
Story 3. I had all these lined up here. Right. Story 3 is I once almost got arrested 3 times in the same night by the same pair of police for different offenses.
Very good. I feel like there are a lot of questions.
There's a theme, and the theme, of course, to all these stories is that I'm awesome.
I was going to say magic.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Okay, David, we'll let you start the questioning. What is your first question for Walter?
What part of town were the arrests or the would-be arrests? Where was this happening?
It was in the east end of town. I could get more specific if you'd like.
Of Montreal?
Yes, of Montreal. Yeah, it was Saint Michel district known as Saint Michel, sort of small, tucked away around sort of Saint Leonard, that kind of area around there.
Okay, can you tell me one of the incidents that almost got you arrested?
We got into it with a bus driver.
Okay.
I was with a friend, and we were sort of this night bus. We were very inebriated, and we got to the end of the line, the literal end of the line, and the bus driver said, "Hey, you guys," and it was just the 2 of us, and he said, "You guys got to get out of here, get out of this bus, because you're at the end of the line. You can't stay on the bus. I'm getting off here. This is it." And my buddy's like, "I can't find my glasses," and he's looking for his glasses and stuff. And I'm like, "Yo, this guy's yelling at us. We got to get off the bus." He's like, "Not until I find my glasses." And this guy's like, "I'm going to actually call the cops if you don't get off the bus." So I'm like, and he wouldn't, the guy with the glasses and the cops are there. And then I'm like getting off the bus with my hands over my head and stuff. They sent so many cops for like the 2 of us, and like these 2 drunk guys looking for their glasses. But yeah, that was the one, and that was the first one.
The first instance. Okay, interesting. Shirley, what is your first question for Walter?
I want to know, what were you doing in Denmark for Christmas, and what year was it?
It was 2007. It was my 5th semester of university. I was doing an exchange thing, and it wasn't actually super close to Christmas. It was a Christmas party in November, because they take their Christmas parties real seriously there and have so many that they need to celebrate that they start like doing like Christmas events like as of about mid-November. I was there till about early December, so that's how all that lined up.
Walter, can you tell us about how you made the fire?
How I made the fire happen, right?
Yeah.
We did a Secret Santa kind of deal where I was very drunk on Danish schnapps and beer, and we'd been doing shots of schnapps in between like every course of the meal. And there was a lot of small courses, right? Like this was the Danish Christmas tradition, they all told me. And then we did this sort of like secret Santa gift swap kind of deal, those like stupid gift exchange games you do. And I was so drunk and so terrible at the game, and everybody was fucking speaking Danish and stuff, that like all I ended up with was these 2 shitty candles. And I took my candles and I was like lighting my candle on fire with just lighting the candles, and then there was like a little barbecue with lighter fluid, and somehow I put it all together, and I started taking swigs. I started taking swigs of the lighter fluid, and blowing and breathing fireballs with the candles, with the lit candles, and I did that outside and then inside the common room too.
Did you get in trouble?
No, it was fucking amazing. It was like it was like a college party. You have to understand, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like everybody's pretty young and we're all like pretty drunk and shit. And I'm like the resident like insane Canadian, stupid crazy Canadian, like doing fucking dumb shit. So.
All right. Okay. Very good. David, what is your second question for Walter?
Sure. I'd like to know how what were the conditions that you were okay jumping off a second floor balcony?
Yeah. Good
How
question.
did that not hurt you?
I think, okay, there was a couple things that, like, it wasn't like a Bruce Willis kind of like Die Hard, John McClane jump, right? It was like, and I say in my memory, I say, oh, it was like the second or third story or whatever, but it was probably like the least high it could have been, right? It was like maybe like
was it just a door?
It was like one floor up from the ground probably or something. But like in my memory, like I hung from the thing and like I kind of like went over the rail and then like lowered myself down, hung from it so my feet would be closer to the ground.
Sure, yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll just get as close to the ground as possible, and then kind of let myself fall. And I think it was winter, so there was in fact like hardened kind of snow around me, I think, to sort of fall into a little bit also. And then the look on the people's faces when I came back into the party was enough just to make the whole thing worth it.
Okay. Shirley, what is your second question?
My second question. Did we already cover the things that you did that almost got you arrested? We covered one thing.
Covered
what about
one,
the other two?
yeah.
What were the other two things that you almost got arrested for?
The other two things?
Yeah. You said there were three.
Yeah, the other two things. So we were like sort of stranded in this part of town because we were teenagers without money and stuff. And now we were like, we didn't know how we were going to get back to where we lived and stuff. So we started kind of wandering around, still drunk and stuff, asking random people for lifts. And my buddy kind of got into a tussle with a guy that might have been a pimp, I'm thinking maybe. And when I recall the story, like, I'm like, oh, there was like a couple women he was with. I think we might have like just gotten in the middle of something we shouldn't have gotten in the middle of. And he smacked my friend in the mouth. He started bleeding profusely from the mouth.
Good.
And I dragged him to the entrance of a police station, and we called the police. I called like the ambulance or whatever, I called like 911, and the police show up, and it was the police who had initially showed up for the bus incident from earlier.
Okay. And
yeah.
Quickly, what was the final thing? The third incident?
The third thing was streaking.
Okay.
Wait, after the first two things, then
You went streaking.
Yeah, we kind of skulked away a few blocks, and then we're so drunk that we thought it'd be funny if we went a couple blocks more towards our homes, fully in the buff through the park. Didn't get arrested for that one though.
Didn't get arrested. Okay.
Does that mean you made it though? That means you
because
or you just stopped and went back and got your stuff? Or
No, we started to go in the direction of our homes, a couple blocks. So it was in order. The crimes were the harassment of the bus driver, attempted solicitation, and then and then the exposure.
And the cops came and saw you with the streaking, and they were like, "You guys just go home." They didn't put you in the drunk tank.
No, they kind of caught up with us, but like we had sort of like scrambled to get some of our clothes back on. So like they didn't see us like walking around fully nude. But I think we might have gotten spotted a couple times because those like the cops showed up again. Like, and we hadn't even really made it very far at all from the initial like police station. So
interesting. I'm going to close questioning. David, what is your guess? What is the lie?
Meghan Markle. I'm gonna say that. This has been a really long segment, so no, man, I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my gut and say the balcony story.
Balcony story, okay.
Number one.
Yeah.
Shirley, what is your guess?
I think they're all lies, but I think the biggest lie is the 3 arrests in one night story. The 3 near arrests.
Okay, Walter, what is the lie?
The lie is the 3 arrests.
Yeah.
So
we were only arrested twice, almost twice. The third one was fully made up.
Ah. All right.
Ooh.
now it is time for the how much round. In this round, I will show you interesting things that I found for sale on the internet, and you will tell me how much it costs. Whoever is closest to the correct price gets the point. It's okay if you're over, it's okay if you're under. It's just whoever is closest to the correct price. So these beautiful creatures are antique taxidermy frogs playing dominoes drunk on Corona beer. I found them on Etsy, and the description is, these frogs were sold as souvenirs in Mexico in the 1950s and 60s. Walter, how much do you think these antique taxidermy frogs playing dominoes and drunk on Corona beer cost?
And like this, where does it cost?
They're from Etsy, and everything is in Canadian dollars.
So it's the price tag on Etsy for this? Okay. I'm gonna say $127.
$127, okay. David, what is your guess?
Just wondering, when you say they're taxidermy frogs, does that mean that's actual frog flesh? That's
Yes, so these were once proud and noble beasts.
Wow.
And now they are taxidermied, and according to their description, drunk on Corona and playing dominoes.
It's all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $10.
$10. All right. I mean, even with like the little, like, that's all, I'm assuming, hand carved. But okay.
Well, I thought it's their flesh, though.
Yeah, but like the dominoes and stuff. Those are real taxidermy dominoes as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it. I'll stick with my.
Okay. And Shirley, how much do you think for the taxidermy froggy boys?
Yeah, I don't know. I want them, and I would pay any amount of money to have them. I don't know. I'm going to say $65.
$65. Walter gets the point. He was very close to the correct answer. It's actually $124.
Wow.
Holy shit.
55 cents. For a second, I thought I forgot to crop out the price because it was... Oh, man. Would you pay $125.65 for those?
Fuck yes.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to taxidermy the frogs myself? No.
Exactly.
I mean, pay a good $10 for that.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, they are antiques as well. They're from the 50s and 60s, according to this description.
How big are they? What are they resting on? A chair or a stool?
Yes. Yeah,
what's the scale of those things?
What's the scale here? Put next to a real Corona bottle.
Yeah, I'd say they're about 3/4 of a regular Corona bottle size.
Yeah, I'd say like the top of that frog would make it to the base of the neck of a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is
Judge-
just
judging
I'm
from-
eyeballing
judging-
here.
If those were actual Corona bottles, that would be amazing.
Like mini glasses.
Yeah.
Terrifying. It'd be
The
terrifying.
frogs are that big. That'd be horrifying. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, 1 second while I get to the next item.
When I looked at this initially, I thought they were fried. Like I thought it was like fried frogs.
Yeah, fried and
They
then
look boiled.
taxidermied. They look
It's
to
like-
have some sort of varnish or sheen on
There's
them.
like a sheen on them. Yeah.
But their feet are crushed into the wood there.
Yeah, they're nailed in. You can see the nails.
The nails, yeah.
Wow.
It's
in the hands and
unpleasant.
feet.
It is unpleasant.
Excellent craftsmanship.
A frog is a noble beast. It shouldn't have to be desecrated like this.
Ooh.
All right, our next item up for bids is haunted porcelain dolls.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus God! Jesus God!
Aren't they beautiful? So I found
Yes.
these on Kijiji, so you know they are legitimate. And their description says, these creepy porcelain dolls are haunted or cursed. You know, same. Sometimes they whisper to each other at night. Take good care of them. So, Walter, because you got it correct last time, I'm gonna go with you again for the first. What is your guess for these creepy haunted dolls?
$58 for the pair.
$58 for the
Wow.
pair. Okay. David, what is your guess for the
I was
creepy?
honestly gonna say 60, but I don't want to say that. Then that's like a Price is Right person who's betting $1 over
$1, Bob.
I mean, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that.
5801. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Walter's right. But no, just to mix it up, I'm gonna say I'll lowball it again. I'm gonna say $40.
$40. Okay, Shirley, how much do you think the creepy porcelain dolls are?
Well, I feel like I had porcelain dolls like this when I was a little girl. I remember someone gave them to me for my mom's wedding when she married my stepdad. They gave me a pair of, and that marriage didn't work out. So I think they are worth $88.
$80. Okay, and
Oh.
just another question. What do you guys think these dolls whisper to each other at night? Because sometimes they whisper. What do you think they're whispering? Yes, no?
Take the child.
Yes. We strike at the first harvest moon.
The actual retail value of those dolls is $20.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Give it
So
to David.
they're a steal, yeah. So David
Yeah.
gets the point for that one, and we have one more item.
I don't even
left.
think they're really haunted. I don't even at that for a price like that. I don't even think they're really
Exactly.
haunted.
No, the price is too good. It's too.
Okay, our final item.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Hey.
$1 million.
I know, right? I would pay any price. So I found these on Wish, and they are pet dog cat wigs. So I'm assuming you can get them for your dog or your cat. And they are acrylic, and the only description says, check measurements carefully before buying. So, don't get a cat wig for your dog, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Hank Williams song.
Those dogs are real then?
Yes, those are real live dogs.
We're bidding on the wigs.
We're bidding on the wig. Yes, the wig
Okay.
to put on your dog. And it straps around. You can kind of see here, it straps on with a little ribbon.
Ugh.
Tie it onto your dog's little head, and now she's fancy. So, Walter, what is the price of these dog wigs?
good wig is expensive, and I mean,
It's
like,
true.
and some of these wigs, I mean, they look kind of quality, frankly. Just say $30.
$30. Okay.
$30.
David, what is your guess?
I'm going to change my tactic and go higher to $45.
Okay. And Shirley, what is your guess for these beautiful dog wigs?
I'm gonna say $12.99.
That's a good guess, Shirley.
$12.99.
$12.99.
The
I wish I would've
point
guessed that.
goes to Shirley.
God damn.
These dog wigs are $9.
I don't know what we were thinking.
Get them for every dog you know and love.
I was
What a
thinking
bargain.
pet owners are crazy and pay too much for things.
Exactly. Yes.
That
Yeah.
is true.
Fair. That is
Like
fair.
me.
So in this round, I will read you questions. There are no rules. Just shout out the answer as we go, okay? Who sang the hit song Thriller?
Michael Jackson.
Shirley. What colors are on the Canadian flag?
Red
Red
and
and
white.
Merlot and Chardonnay are types of what?
Red
wine.
wine. No, just wine.
What? Yeah. 10 plus 10 equals
20.
20.
20. What did the Wright brothers invent?
The
Planes.
airplane.
You're all answering at the same time. How many legs does a spider have?
8.
Oh, very good. What is the second letter of the alphabet?
B.
B.
I think that was Shirley first. Spell the word knife.
No. K-N-I-F-E.
K-N-I-F-E.
That was Walter.
N-I-G-H-T.
What are the 4 Hogwarts houses?
Slytherin.
Slytherin, Hufflepuff,
Hufflepuff,
Gryffindor.
One a list question. Okay.
Ravenclaw.
What's the capital
Ravenclaw.
of the USA?
Washington.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, Walter. What's a baby cow called?
Calf.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
definitely Walter. Jonathan Van Ness is a cast member on what popular Netflix
Queer
show?
Eye.
Oh, okay. Who wrote 1984?
George
George
Orwell.
George Orwell.
Okay, that is our time.
That was stressful.
It was intense.
Yeah.
At the end of the lightning round, whew, it's a close one. Getting the bronze medal, we have Walter Lyng with 7 points.
Yay.
Well done, Walter. And oh my goodness, it was very, very close. Shirley Whalen has 9 points. David Pryde has 10.
Hey!
David takes the cake. Well done.
Wow.
Thank
Good
you
job.
all so much for being on the show. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
it was
like
a
the
lot of fun.
Detroit Pistons and not shake people's hands.
okay. Sorry. All right. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching. Please remember to like and share and subscribe so that so many people can see this wonderful show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Had a great time. Thank you, Elspeth.